Hi, I'm Mike Pub, and today I'm doing another video where I talk about Disney princess dolls. I know, crazy. But if you don't know, I have been doing rankings where I take every Disney princess doll from or Disney character from a specific movie. So I've done Ariel, Cinderella, Snow White. I think I've already shown Snow White. Anyways, and I decided to do a video where I take my top 10 dolls and I tell you how much they'd be if I bought them all right now. And specifically I used eBay. This one was hard. I did Cinderella and I was like really basic because like the majority of those dolls were not expensive, but I'm doing Snow White today. It was hard to find these doll prices. It was terrible. So I guess I'm not going to be buying any Snow White dolls anytime soon. But anyways, so I'm going to be telling you how much each of them are. The last one that I did, Cinderella, I just was doing Google Slides, but today I thought I'd be, you know, up and close, which means I'll have to put a photo of the doll. But anyways, let's begin. This is a part of my top 10 videos, not top 10. This is a part of my ranking videos. So if you want to check out those, you can take a look at those. I did, when I was going through the eBay listings, find some dolls that are not on there. I used Toy Sisters and Delect for Snow White, I believe. So that's fine. I'll just need to add them, which is kind of disappointing because there's so many dolls already on my list, but also I'm not going to complain about wanting more dolls. Anyways, not complain too much, I guess. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to tell you how much I would spend for each of the dolls individually and what specifically was on the list. If you've already seen that, it's a little bit, you know, already talking about my top 10. But then I'm going to tell you how much I would have to pay in the end for all these dolls. How exciting. Let's begin with my top 10, my number 10 slot doll. This one is Evil Queen. It's not even Snow White. This one was not as difficult as I thought it would be when I had Cinderella. I had a bunch of like her Disney store releases by year, so it was like 2015, 2016. People did not put the year that it was. They just wrote like classic or something. Disney store maybe, and I just had such a hard time finding them, and I'd have to like look at the box and then look at the doll. This one, the doll had a blue box as the background, so it was relatively easy to tell which ones were the specific one that I was talking about, because this one, like, she just looks more detailed than the others. Like, I don't know, there's something about her outfit, she just looked more detailed. So take your guesses of how much you think the lowest listing that I could find. And there might be lower listings out there, but take your guesses. And I did try to put in like what it was and then shipping, but this one has a weird number, so I feel like I didn't do that here. The price is $35.96. That's why I think that I definitely like added it up and just forgot to put what the actual what they had it listed as. Anyways, so first price $35.96. I want you to understand, if you haven't seen the Cinderella one that I did, I'll link that one below hopefully. I feel like half the dolls were like under $20. That might be a lie, but like I feel like they were relatively decently cheap. And Snow White is bad. I think for the Cinderella ones, if I were to buy every single one, I think I paid like less than like $300. And that might be wrong, but like I feel like that's roughly what it was. And this one, I was like, oh. Okay, my number 9 slot. Yeah, okay, I panicked. I thought we were not, I thought it was going backwards. Number 9, I have the Evil Queen, and I think it's a collector release. I'm looking, Snow White, The Greatest Villains collector dolls. Okay. So this one is a collector one, so in theory, she's gonna be a bit more pricey. She's gonna be a bit more pricey. So I think when I did the eBay listing, actually I have to look because now it's gonna really bother me. Okay, I was right. So when I did my total, I only added the cheaper one because the 75 was a lot, and I was like, she has the majority of it. So I found the cheapest listing of brand new in box, I found for $75, and then for the cheapest out of box, I found for $34.99 plus $6.36 in tax, which would, or in shipping, which would be $41.35. There is a new listing. It literally says new. It says, why is it red? Because I just clicked on it. Obviously it says $35 in its brand new box, and then $6.53 for shipping. I'm on eBay right now, but the photos look really bad, which makes me think that they're trying to it's like it looks like your parent took a photo, or like your grandparent is like, look at the photo that I just took, but it's like real blurry. I don't know. It looks like they were taking photos like this. Like, I don't know. Anyways, I hate to be mean, but like, I don't know. It could be like sketchy. Anyways, so I included in my total the cheaper one, the one that is out of box, because listen, if a doll's super expensive, I'm probably not going to pay the inbox price, but also I don't want to spend $75, but there were some real high listings for her, like $200, so $75 is better. This one is bad. This one's bad. So I said that I went and looked for these dolls on eBay. This one I could not find anywhere. It's called Wardrobe. We're gonna include it. I actually think the reason why I couldn't find half these dolls were, I don't know if they were released in the US. I found some listings that like when you click on it, it's no longer a listing, but they're like, you can still see the photo. And they were in Spanish maybe? I feel like they're in Spanish, but I could be wrong. So I'm gonna assume that they were not released here. The thing is, I really like this doll. I think she looks so pretty. I like that she comes with other outfits. I really like the cape. The outfits might not be the highest quality, but this doll, when I looked at her, I was just like, she's so pretty. This listing that I found was on Mercari, which I don't ever really use Mercari. I feel like people always say really nice things, but I don't know. I only ever use eBay. Maybe I'll use Mercari eventually. This doll is the reason why my total, if I decide I'm gonna buy all of these dolls, this doll is the reason why it's so high. $200 plus $7.50 total, so that's $207.50. That's for shipping. I think I keep saying tax. I apologize. I don't know if I love the doll that much, but she was my number 8 spot. She's pretty. Like, don't get me wrong. I just $200. I was looking for like anything. This doll, I could not find her anywhere. I had the hardest time attempting to look for her. She is on Dollect. So it's not like it's not a doll that doesn't exist. Like, it made it on Dollect. So I don't know, but I really like her, and I don't think I'd pay her that price. The thing is that just because the doll is a certain price does not mean that it makes it rare or anything. This doll could be rare, but sometimes people like to put dolls really high, especially if you don't have any other references and you're like, this is the only doll that is out there of this, and then you can put it at whatever price you want. So don't pay it. Let it drop so I can buy it, because it's really pretty. She's a really pretty Snow White. Next we have Snow White. I think it could be Disney Store, but I'm not sure. This one also, looking at it, I don't know how much, like, would I feel necessarily. It's my number 7 spot. This is number 7. Would I pay this price? I don't know. That's a lot. Again, like, the Snow White, listen, they're my top 10, so clearly they made it out of the others, and I do really like these dolls. But listen, with Snow White, or with Cinderella, I was like, wow, I don't have expensive taste. Yay. I think one of them, and I think it was the play set was really expensive, and I was like, okay, like, I'm pretty good. Like, I don't have expensive taste, because when I was looking at those Hannah Montana dolls, I was like, oh my god, I only like pricey things, and I was like, okay, we're good. And then I got to Snow White, and I was like, well, I'm just picking kind of like, I mean, I liked this one because of the face, but I feel like people wouldn't like this doll, and then this, and this, and was I wrong? This doll, literally labeled Snow White, was really hard to look. I had to look at the boxes, because I feel like there was another doll that looked really similar that had a different box, so I was going off the boxes. I found a listing, and I think it was on eBay. I think that other doll was the only one that I found on Mercari. This one was for $77.32 plus $62.66 for shipping. $62.66. This one might be the one that was from Australia. One of them, and I was gonna write it down and I didn't, one of them was literally Australian, so like, I can understand if that was the case why the price would be, like, the shipping price would be so expensive, but I was like, that's a lot of money. $62.66 for shipping. But that would total $139.98 as my total for paying just a single doll. That seems like a lot. Again, I'm using eBay, which when I go like thrifting and stuff. Maybe I'll find this doll, but like I use eBay prices to reference if I should buy it. Can I buy it cheaper? So if I found this doll for anything cheaper, I'd be like, yes, I should buy it. Next, my number, are we at 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to go backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're at number 6. That threw me off. I should have put numbers down. This is called Special Sparkles Snow White collection. Special Sparkles collection Snow White doll. This one I feel like is a pretty readily available price. I did I got 2 different listing prices that I found, one in box, one out of box. In my final thing, even though it's more expensive, I put the inbox one down because I didn't think it was too significant, other than like maybe I should have put the cheaper one to like cut my total, but nonetheless. With Cinderella, I put both prices, but I didn't want to do it here because I think I only found 2 for different prices. Anyways, so for the inbox doll, I found a listing for $12.90 plus $11.40 shipping. By the way, I'm not really checking boxes to see if they're super damaged. I take all my dolls out of box, so for me personally, it doesn't matter if they are in or out of the box, but just keep that in mind. They could have like really damaged boxes. So that totaled $24.30, and then I found a listing for $9.99 plus $6.26 for shipping, and that would total $16.24 as the total, and that would be the doll out of box. I think she had everything. She might have been missing shoes. I always say that, but then when I get a doll that doesn't have shoes, I'm kind of irritated. But I feel like this is a basic Snow White. I could put her in any Barbie high heels. Black ones would be fine as well. I feel like she wears black shoes. Anyways, so relatively, like, this was a better one. I could find lots of listings of her, enough to where I found one in box and one out of box, instead of having to like scour, and I couldn't even find some of these dolls. Speak of the devil. We have my number 5 spot, just called Snow White. I could find other listings for dolls that looked very similar to this, that had roughly the same piece that she comes with, but I could not find this specific doll anywhere. I could find a few things that kind of sort of talked about the doll, and I think they were in a different language. So I don't know if this is just not a US release, if anyone has any information, but I could not find a eBay, Mercari, any listing, any previous listing of her. She might not exist, but I really liked her. She made it to number 5 on my top 10 list, so I'm kind of disappointed. Number 4, we have Collector. She's just called Collector. It's actually called Princess Snow White. It's Disney store, but the thing that they wrote was Collector. This doll, really pretty, really like her, which is weird because I don't think I liked all the other ones in this line, but maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I was a big fan. This one's beautiful. Not as expensive as I thought it would be. This doll, I found a listing. This one, I kept going, a few of them. This one and the one under both that we'll talk about next in my number 3 slot. 2. Yeah. I would like be looking, and then I would find like one that was like 5 cents less or like 50 cents less, and I was still like switching out them. So this one, the cheapest one that I could find after like looking and looking, I found one for $19.99 plus $10.53 shipping, which would total $30.52, which honestly is not bad, especially for what looks to be a collector doll. She looks quite high quality. I don't know, she just looks really pretty. Really like her. I don't know how well she is, but she looks cute. Then we have Holiday Princess, a pretty popular line, so I was really hoping that I could get them cheap. There were some high prices, obviously, but the cheapest one that I could find here in box was $13.80 plus $7.16, which would total $20.96, which is really decent. Again, it helps when dolls are pretty popularized, so that lots of people were like, I'm gonna get this doll so it's more expensive, or so that it goes up in price, and then they just don't because everybody has the doll, which is fair and nice for me. That was a pretty decent one. I also really like this doll. Again, she made it in my number 3 slot, so I'm glad. This one was really annoying. This is the 60th anniversary Snow White, so I assume the 60th is supposed to be for the movie. This one, beautiful. Love her. Love the photo that is chosen. She's really pretty. Why were they so expensive? The cheapest one that I could find for her, there's another one that also is, it's better than what I thought it would be. Like, I was like, after the 207, I was like, oh my god, oh my god. The cheapest one that I could find for this doll was $29.99 plus $14.70 shipping, which would equal $44.69. Again, that is practically $50 that you're paying for a single doll, which I think is a lot. That's why, even though I'm like, I really would like some Disney princess dolls, I can't get them. I'm gonna have to stick to some real cheap ones. And then we have my last one, my number one, my top doll that I looked at and was like, this one is beautiful, which is still a lot, is Enchanted Princesses. Obviously, I should say this is not including tax. So they're gonna go up, probably. Anyways, Enchanted Princess. She's beautiful. I loved her when I looked at her. I was like, wow, I really want that doll. I would love to get her. This one's also decently, it's not under 30, which is what I was hoping for most of these dolls to be. And I really think only a few of them were. That's great. This one was the cheapest listing I could find was $29.99 plus $10 shipping, which would equal $40 or $39.99. That is so exciting. So that is the listings that I found. Take your guess, or maybe you were adding it up as we were going, how much you think that I would have to pay. So I already said some of them I found more than one price for. For the one doll, I picked the out of box because I didn't want to pay $75 if I happened to ever, get her. And then the other one, I picked the in-box price, which was like $4 or $5 more expensive. So keep that in mind. There were some other ways if you were like, I really want a doll in box, or if you're like, wow, all these boxes are damaged, then maybe you're like, I would have to pay way more for a really nice box. Anyways, the total price was $585.26. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the Cinderella top 10 was under 3. Honestly, I feel like it was like 2 something. Like, it wasn't that much. $585. That's a lot. Now, mind you, and that's not even all 10. That is 9 because I couldn't find the other one. It's not saying that she is like priceless or anything. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't exist. Maybe she is. Maybe she is rare. But I couldn't find a price on her. And maybe I just didn't look hard enough. Anyways, it's so great to know that I really, really like things that are hard to find. Or the most common ones, because some of those that were like 50 and 40, the 46, that was a pretty popular one. So it's either not, I mean, I'm glad it wasn't 100. So anyways, I'm Aksha. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Let me know your thoughts on the video. But yeah, bye.